Change your mind, change your money, change your life. I am Coach Rob Lee Simmons, the host of this podcast, and let me be your tour guide to greatness. Welcome to the Greatness Academy podcast. I am here with Darhem Parker, just a big influencer in a space right now and social media. Welcome to the show, my man.
Yeah, glad to be here, man. I've been following you for a minute, man. I thought you was out the army.
Oh man, I tell you, it's crazy.
You was out the army.
Yeah, it's crazy because I like to be who I am, and I be in the army. When I'm in the army, I'm in the army. I just got a coin from the SMA the other day, and I ain't even post nothing about it or nothing. But that is it was an army accomplishment. But I accomplished much more other things than that. And I know you do the same thing, man. And let's talk a little bit about who you are. Let's talk about who Darhem is. And so tell me about your time growing up in New Orleans. What is that like?
So grew up like very poor. I think everybody got the same story. Very poor. I think once my mom and dad split up, I was staying with my mom and we moved to with our cousins. It was kind of humble beginnings, very low. Didn't have a bed until I joined the army. So it was not the best time of my life when I was young. I didn't wear name brand stuff, and back in those days, kids, if you got anything from Payless, they talked about you like a dog.
Yeah.
So I always had Payless shoes, and it was just acne was bad in my face. So that it was a humble beginning. So
I can only imagine. I grew up in Detroit, so yeah, I think it's the same everywhere, man. And so people can actually interconnect culturally because we know what about that upbringing. What made you decide to join the military?
That's a good question. So I was a troubled teen, and I went to this. I think I got kept back a couple of times, and then I went to this thing called Youth Challenge Program, YCP. It's a military school for troubled teens, and he's there for 6 months. Now, prior to this, I'm trying to find my way, like what I'm good at. And then when I went to UCP, I think it's only Louisiana, I think. And the drill sergeant's there, and I just fell in love with like the attitude, the authority. It just hit right my lane now. And YCP was hard and basic training.
Yeah,
they would put hands on kids in YCP back in the days. It was like they told us if you ain't parade rush, you sit up threat. That's how they got away with hit their hands on us. But once I got YCP and I got my GT, I'm like, man, I'm really good at this. Like, I'm very good at like this military stuff. And then from there, I tried to go to Marines. They didn't want me. Try to go Navy. I think something happened with them. And then the Army accepted me. From there, the trailblazer since. So I've been good at it. I'm very good at it.
And so I think this is one of the big things too, right? So if you are a sapper, you are a brave motherfucker. And if you are a ranger, you a bad motherfucker. You got both of them. Tell me about it.
Yeah. I love them. I love sapper. Out of all the schools, I love sapper.
Yeah.
Ranger, man, that's a different breed. Like I don't know that. I wouldn't do that again. Ranger, I wouldn't do nothing again. But sapper school was very like technical. It was like it considered like you got to use your brain. I'm gonna call it like the calculations, the demo calculations, all that stuff. It was. I loved it, but it was tough. And then so I always wanted to do SAP school. Ranger school just came. We were just throwing at me. I was a SAP instructor, and they're like, "Who want to go to Ranger school?" And I'm like, "I guess I'll go." And regretted it for 6 months straight. 6 months trying to get the Tech Ranger tab. When I got it, it felt good, but I fell in love with Sapper, so that's my school of choice.
Yeah. So
no disrespect to Ranger.
Yeah. So you were a Sapper instructor. Tell me a little bit about your time as a Sapper instructor. How did that go?
So I think I got there, PCS there, got the job, and I was a GS instructor. That's just the first 2 weeks space. And I loved it. Everything about Sapper and everything about Sapper instructor, it was good. To go through Sapper school is good, and then to come back and be a Sapper instructor was even better. Like it's 10 times better. Of course,
Yeah.
you know, you ain't the one getting smoked, but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. But I like the knowledge. I like when like I'm always had a thing like when I taught people listen. So I always like to every month you get new soldiers, you get new sappers, and get to impose your not impose, but like you get to have them get your wisdom out. So I loved it. And it's not a bad thing about it. Everything about it I love. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
good. What you
As
doing?
you as you grow up as a, and I'll just call it what it is, but like as you grow up as a black kid, you have these glass ceilings and you aren't taught everything that you need to know. Like going through your journey throughout the army and even basic training to sapper school to ranger school, what are some of the things that you learned about yourself that you didn't learn when you were younger?
I learned I'm durable as how could I say that? I found out I could take on a lot that I didn't know I could take on as a kid. Like, I probably was a kid that they back in those days make us fight, and I used to like cry before the fight even started. I used to be crying, and come to find out when I joined the military and the wars and all that stuff, it kind of made me like, man, I can handle a lot.
Yeah.
Like I can handle a lot. And also talking about like I smile. That was a big thing that I feel like the army tried to take from me. Going
Mm,
through basic training, and you smiled a lot. You consider like so I don't know, weak or whatever, and they would just smoke you, and they had this thing they're gonna break you. And I think at that moment I had to make a decision, like, you know, is this smile worth it? Like, should I let them break it? Should I let them take it or not? And I think that was my first conscious of myself, like, man, I don't think I'm gonna let them take the smile. They could do all they want with me, but like they ain't gonna take the smile. And that was been like challenge from basic training. That was it. So I learned about like my smiling. I could take on a lot. I think those two are the main thing. It's
yeah.
shocking.
Yeah. I think your personality is is and I'm not even gonna say it's a abrasive, but as a leader, you don't take shit. You don't take shit.
Yeah.
And I think that is commendable, especially as senior leaders, because we allow ourselves to fall into this box. And some people do it to get promoted. Some people do it because they learned it in basic training and never unlearned it. And some people never learn, they started off as followers and they never learn how to be leaders.
Yeah.
So I say all of that to say, like, as a leader, how do you how do you give that back to your soldiers? How do you give your soldiers the keys to be themselves within the confines of, I don't want to call it confines, but they're the parameters of being a soldier?
I think I always try to empower them. I think even my most of my NCOs, they have this robot mentality, the yes man, yes, like the yes sergeants. I'm like, hey, like you ain't got to do that around me. Like if something you don't doesn't line to you, just put me aside and talk about it. But don't be on this yes man because that yes man have caused death in like when in Iraq, people just I'm just gonna do what they tell me. I never liked them kind. So I'm always trying to empower them and like I always tell them, hey man, put your touch on it. Like yeah. Parker would do it this way, but like, what about you though? Like, you put
Mm,
your touch on it. Like, hey, I give you a task, and I'm like, does that represent you? Like, that's how you do it. I'm like, so you telling me this is how you represent yourself? And it kind of like, oh no, sorry, I got it. I'm gonna do it a little bit. Okay, all right, do what you do. So I always had these little moments where like I want them to put a personality out. So and they always come through. Most people, most time come through. They come out. So that's
yeah.
how I do it.
Yeah, I want to take it back to your beginning years in the army. What are some of like the biggest challenges you faced as maybe not a soldier, but as Parker? What was Parker's life like as a soldier? What
In
are
the
some
be-
challenges?
in the beginning, the way I talked. My second counseling, I remember from Sergeant Dives, I'll never forget. He counseled me on, and you go fix. I think I should. I kept saying back in the days, you heard me. Like that's a Reverend New Orleans thing. Oh, you dig. It was so heavy that they counseled me on it. And even in the council, I said, I know what you're saying. I said something. He said, yeah, that. He said, you gotta stop saying that and just say sergeant. And I remember, so that was like is that gonna change me or that's growth? So that was like, you know what? A lot of people can't understand me when I talk. So let me go cut some of the hood out or like cut the swag out. I'm like, okay, let me start talking. Like I always switch back to it. Whenever I go back home to Louisiana, it just comes right up. But I had to like articulate myself better at work. And people could say it's called you changing, but I didn't see it. I still don't see it that way. It's called
Yeah,
growth. So
Yeah.
that's one of the few challenges. And then finance, I used to always send money home to my mom's. And that was like the first 2 years of my career. And I was one of those kids that like made it. And now he's trying to help his family. So I used to still be in Georgia for Lindenwood. Let me say Georgia, Fort Stewart, and send money to my mom in Louisiana. And every time I went home, I would like buy stuff for the refrigerator, like fill the refrigerator full of food. So they were still stuck in poverty. And I was up here, so I didn't like it. So I always went back. But eventually they got good, and they got to do it no more.
Yeah. So based off of some of those challenges that you learned and you operated in, I would imagine that you have made some mistakes. In those mistakes that you made when you were younger, what would be your advice to soldiers or even people who are young now and just kind of want some advice or guidance, in their life?
I don't, honestly, somebody asked this question the other day. I don't regret nothing
Mm,
I did. I don't know if it was a mistake. I could give them advice on what not to do, but like as far as my life, and like I shouldn't have done that. Nope. I do it. If you do it all over again, I do it the exact same way. My advice I give to the is youth, and I always say, I think I said this on one of my TikTok. I think find the right spouse sets it like it's telling you, it gets you there. I don't know why they help you or hurt you. So finding the right or being single. Being single, but if you're gonna pick, you better pick wisely because the
that
wrong one to ruin you.
that will make or break you. Facts, man.
Yeah.
I've been on both sides of the fence, so I definitely understand that. So tell me, I think let me before I get into the questioning, I definitely absolutely 110% agree with you. I don't I don't regret any mistakes that I made because my regrets would never allow me to have the experience that I have to make better decisions. I think mistakes are experience, and experiences allow you to make better decisions. Now, if you want to make the same mistake, I mean, that's on you, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But so tell me a little bit about now. This makes me light up, right? So
Yeah.
black dude from New Orleans is just a little bit different to see your level of sporting, right? So you kind of get into like, skydiving and
Yeah.
surfing and scuba. Where did that come from?
I think it came from not having as a kid.
Mm,
I think that's what's like. I remember never going on field trips. From the hood. You don't mess with the water. You just and then when it was a project kid, I don't know. So I guess when I got wrong and like my money's good, I'm like, who? The reason I learned how to swim because somebody said black people can't swim.
mm,
That's what started the swimming thing. Somebody said, "Oh, do black people can't swim?" Like, oh, okay. And I would jump in the pool and learn. I really learned when I got out here in Hawaii. But the skydiving, all that stuff, like, why not? YOLO. Like, hey man,
yeah,
I'm gonna do that. I gotta go out, man. Cause I don't remember half none of it. None of it. Like it's such an amazing life that all that is enjoying the roses. I'm gonna call it smelling the roses. All it is. Because I could be focused and trying to make this, trying to make $1 million, but like every now and then, like, it's beautiful. So let me enjoy this. Let me go look into this. Let's do this. Let me write a book. I'm very like, why not? I think that's
yeah,
if I was a tech category, I'm like, why not?
yeah. Let me ask you this. I know you were working on becoming a lifeguard. What made you decide that that's something that is you want to do? And then what is some of the most exciting moments as you were going through schooling and learning that?
So currently I am a lifeguard. I got the certificate and everything.
Okay.
I guess
Congratulations.
it was I think the army was like, or my unit was saying, hey, we need lifeguards because we're doing this pool operation. I'm like, hey, I'll do it. Hey, why not? I'll do it. And when it going to lifeguard, I learned that I didn't know how to swim. Lifeguard taught me like, okay, Paul, you're doing it wrong. Like this is how you swim. So I did like a pre-lifeguard course for like a
Mm,
month before I actually went to the lifeguard course at the pool. So this lady, Catherine, I mean, I don't see her, Catherine, she would teach me how to swim. And I really fell in love with it. Like whenever oh man, I wish I could have everybody swim, but once that started swimming, I got real proficient at it and then went to lifeguard course. And then that was amazing. And the struggles I had was holding my breath. Like,
mm,
I don't know, this is gonna be funny. You got to go. One of the things you got to do is got to go down 15 feet and grab this dummy and bring it back up to the surface. The
mm.
problem is there's a decision point going down. Like, am I gonna have enough air will not come back up. So halfway down, I get to thinking like, yeah, I ain't gonna get them, and I come right back up. Yeah, yeah. So that was my struggle, was holding my breath long. But then I found the technique to help you with holding your breath long, and I killed it.
Just made it happen. Made it
Yeah,
happen.
yeah,
No, that's
definitely.
so dope, man. So tell me this, like, what are you passionate about?
I think that's a big one.
Mm.
I am passionate about. I'm gonna say that. I think I always told my mama. I'm gonna do something with my voice. Either I'm gonna be a motivation speaker, a preacher, or like something, or activist, a black actor. I always think I would be one of those three. Like something about when I talk and I know how to sway the crowd. And I figure that's those three things I'm falling to. I don't know after I join the army, I'm gonna follow one of them, but I think those are three areas that I know I'm gonna land somewhere. So
That's
I
amazing.
love to talk and speech and like I like to talk and with something and say and I say something and people get an epiphany from me, like what? And I love those awakening moments that if I'm talking about this and like, oh, I didn't know that. And you take it home and like you apply. I love to see that. I don't hear enough success story from it, but I know I love to hear that. That's why I like preachers so good because
Um,
they could say something it's like it changed.
nah, I agree, and then this kind of leads me to this, right? A lot of times you say some powerful stuff, and then some of it may go over people's head, but to me, I get it. Let's talk a little bit about some of the analogies that you come up with as you're and to me, it just seems natural. I want to know if this is something that you thought deep about, or is it something that's on your mind and you just decide to record it and post it. But you had a post not too long ago. You talked about the difference between really Bruce Wayne and Batman, and
Yeah,
knowing, when you gotta take that off, and when, eventually you're gonna die
yeah,
as Bruce Wayne's.
yeah,
And
yeah.
you say things so enlightening. Does that come just not like, hey, off the cuff, or you just thought deep about it and you was like, you know what, let me share this?
Yeah. So a second. So I have some in my head. I'm like, you know what? I think the word need to hear this. And I just have that. I work on the delivery of it. Okay, should I
Yeah.
make it funny? I'm gonna do it this way. Like, how can I? But like that, I think I say that like had that on my. I've been saying that to people for like 2 years. I think it popped in my head at a board. This female, I was on the president, but I was the first on the board. I think it still the year, whatever it was. She was high speed, and I'm like, man, she was killing it. And I remember she got up there Mexican, and we approved her. I'm like, hey, I got one thing for you. Always work on Bruce Wayne. And I shared that knowledge with her. Hopefully, it got through to her. I don't know, but she seemed like she's very army. And I'm like, hey, don't forget about you now.
Yeah.
Don't forget about you. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that was one of my. I sent that one to the Sergeant Major. He said he liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, stuff like that is always in my head, or I hear it, or I hear a word, or a pastor preach something, and something stand out, and I can take it, revise it, do something with it. But most time coming experience.
No, that's dope. Let me ask you this. So, as you started to get into TikTok, and I mentioned earlier, uh, being a social media sensation, right? You have over 27,000 followers on TikTok, probably more today. But one of the biggest things is that you grew relatively fast. Was that something that you planned and expected to, or you just decided to put a camera in front of you and started being who you are?
To be honest with you, social media always been my like place I could be me at.
Yeah.
Before TikTok, I was on Facebook where I was doing the same videos over there. It was just like me of like not getting out. It was getting out the army. Like
Right.
that was my safe space. But then when people started like Facebook, I didn't. My kind of private. I didn't want no social to see me. I don't want. Hey, this is mine. You stay over there. And I think the deployment. I was on the deployment, and like I had a YouTube channels, all that stuff. When I was a PFC, I always had a thing with the camera and editing videos. It's just TikTok. I think it's only for 2 years. 2 years ago, I started downrange and just having fun. And it just grew to something I didn't. It grew to something I don't even know, man. I can't control it. I just keep going with it. But it was never
Yeah.
meant to. I didn't know it was gonna be that big. I was just doing me.
Let me ask you this. I see a lot of folks combating the videos that you make. Are there inspiring stories at the other end of this spectrum as well?
As in like success stories like on TikTok
Yeah, like
or me.
followers, like your followers. I know you got some followers who just love to jump on and be negative Nancy's and Karens. Do you have some real strong people behind you that's like, yeah, that's what fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah. So I have more good than bad, and sometimes it's even, but they all in my DMs, and they always like, man, keep doing what you're doing. Like the stories they tell me is dope, man. It really keeps me going, and I like to see it. I like it even more. Okay, let me share this with you. I think 5 years ago, I made it my business to always greet a black female with natural hair. I always comment on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because come to find out, I heard that my sister go natural, and she said when she went natural, she only get hit on by white men. No issue with that. And they're very insecure about it. So anytime I see somebody with a big chop, I'm like, hey, I love your hair. And they just know what it is. Years later, I'm like, okay, I gotta find a way to compliment black men. Like, because they seem like there's always they walk around mean all the time. So I'm like, okay. What stuck the most when I talk to black men, like, hey, I see you out here. I see you, man. And that was like my compliment. I say all to say, ever since this internet thing happened, I get approached by black men, and they be like, "Keep doing what you're doing, Pop." Like we see
Yeah.
it, and it makes my oh man, it makes it. I love it.
Yeah.
It's like the
It's
world
like
finally giving back.
and it's the step towards the activist that you want to be, and I think that is amazing. And the best part about it is you get to do it as yourself. How big of a responsibility do you feel like it is for you to stand on a table for African Americans that serve?
Let me make you laugh. I my situation. I'm not the first person that got denied something for their hair. I
Right.
mean, I'm the first person to air it out. But this is make you laugh. I feel like I was Rosa Parks. I feel like just one time, hey man, I don't feel like getting up no more. I wasn't trying to be special. I wasn't trying to be. I just got tired. Like, hey man, I don't feel like getting up no more, man. Can't, hey, you need to get up. Nah, not today. Any other day, I probably would have got up. But today, that's how I feel like. And what's supposed to just happen? She didn't get up, and the whole world's like, "Oh man, she's an activist." I'm like, I really just did feel like cut my head again. Like, nah, no, I'm not doing it.
God, he
And it
said this
became,
that went up to $70. I'm not cutting my
yeah,
hair. No, you crazy.
not doing it, man. Not doing it.
Oh
And it's
man.
funny, but I've always done business. But that it was just like I did so I wouldn't connect, wasn't gonna retake nothing. Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just I just that didn't feel like getting up. So I just didn't feel like getting up.
So, have you experienced things like this throughout your career, or do you feel like it is motivated by not necessarily your race, but how you look and what people perceive you to be and how you look? Because I mean, I can only imagine if you was in a suit, people would take you a little bit different than if you had on a button up, and it's the same thing. Like it's just how you look, and it is perception because how I perceive you to look is not how someone else perceives you to look. But
Yeah.
do you feel like other people's perceptions have been a problem in the past?
Yes. I didn't always use the shave profile. I think, believe it or not, I used to shave. What happened was I think I went in the field. So I was working with an infantry company. This is how I knew, yeah, it's something about this beard. And I was cut, clean shave, everything. We did field trials with them. They loved us, me and my LT. I went to the field one day and just didn't have a raise in my hair, so it gets real bad. And it's just, and I'm like, yeah, I can't do this no more. I went back to see that same commander, and the way he looked at me, he didn't even want us to work with us no more.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, and I'm looking at him like, I know, you know how good I am. Me and I'm looking at my lieutenant P. I'm like, did he say you don't work? Like what? He kind of like, yeah, we're gonna like do the engineer some other time, and just totally like X's out the channel camera. I'm like, huh? And I'm like, it's the beer. And since then, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna show y'all that. Okay, y'all, that's how y'all play with me. And since then, it's been beer ever since.
Oh man. How much does it mean to you to be a senior leader? More specifically, how much does it mean to you to get a diamond, man? How much does that mean to you?
Between me and you and the people on this path that's listening, I don't give two shits about it. If it come. Hear me out. All I wanted to be in the army was a staff sergeant saboteur. That was the goal.
Right.
Staff
Everything else is
sergeant,
house money.
everything is extra. So
Yeah.
if they want to hold it for me, I'm gonna find out these E8 be hiding out back here. I see why they be hiding out. They be the jobs out here, they don't do nothing. I'm like, oh, it don't bother me. I feel like I still got influence wherever I go. It don't. I think I'm worried because they took it from me. Maybe that's why like I really want it.
Yeah.
But if it never happens, if it's not in God's table to get, I'm cool with it. It won't hurt me or harm me because Bruce Wayne.
Right. 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 I think,
Bruce Wayne
man,
said,
your story really is, and then just and again, like I say, this is based off of perception. Your story is based on you being who you are and not shying away, and it's an inspirational story that reminds people that they can be themselves and still accomplish their goals. Let me ask you, beyond being Batman, what does it look like for you being Bruce Wayne? What does that look like life for you outside of the army? Do you have an idea what it is that you want to do in the future? And then what are you doing? What are some of those things that you're doing to obtain those future goals?
so honestly, when I get out, I don't know what I'm going to do, to be honest with you. I'm just going to sit, collect this check. But I got stuff in motions now where I got a house that I'm renting out that I got some money into it. I got my third book coming out next month. Education will be completed. I'm thinking about going to Africa. That's the thing. But other than that, I don't think it's like I don't have. I have a plan, with the plan is already in motion, but I don't have like I'm going to do this when I get out type deal. So I'll probably just keep making books or like start pushing the books. I have an LLC in a suit company. Well, I got out here to Hawaii, it was doing good. And I got out here, no one wears suits in Hawaii. So I'm like, I gotta put that career down, put that back. So I'll probably pick the suit company back up. But other than that, I don't know, man.
Like,
But I know I'm gonna be okay.
yeah, yeah, you're gonna be
Yeah,
good regardless.
yeah.
I think do you believe that that's something that you learned throughout your time in the military and building up your career, and then really not setting any bar for yourself? Do you believe like, shit, if I can do this, I can do anything, and I'm gonna always be okay?
Yeah, I think I ain't like it's army, but it's more like my mom, godly. I'm very
Mm.
churchy believer now, and I know I'm gonna be okay. And that's why it doesn't. It used to in my past when I started going through all these trials and I come out on top. After a couple of those, you'd be like, I know how this works. And you just go with the punches. And so like when all this happened, the world just seen it. But like people who know me call me were like, Paul, you always go through stuff like this. Like this ain't nothing new. It's new to the world.
Yeah.
But Parker always getting into something, something happened, and he come out on top. He get demoted, this happened, come out on top. This happened, I'm used to it. So I know I'll be okay if I get out, whatever I do, wherever I go, I'm blessed. So that's how I feel.
Are you a,
100%.
are you a reader of books? If so, what's one of your favorite books to read?
No, I don't read, man. Sorry to say that. Sorry to put you down. I don't know. You only I'm up here. I let you down with that one. No, I don't read.
He said
I
you ain't
think
getting that.
I read books like for college, yes, but like I don't pursue it. It's crazy. I write books, but don't read them. But
Yeah.
yeah.
No, and I'm gonna tell you this. So I'm not a physical reader, but I have a few physical books that I actually sat down and read, and I do enjoy it time to time. Usually I ain't got the time. So I do audible books. I'm on when we get off of here, I'm gonna recommend you a couple of audible books to check out. Just to change your perspective. I listen to them like podcasts. The book may be like 12 hours. It may take me 2-3 weeks to listen to it because I'll only watch an hour at a time on my trip. But where was I going with that? I know exactly where I was going. As a author, what is some of the biggest challenges that you face while creating art?
Okay. The first book the challenge I had was like I didn't know the price of things.
Mm,
So I paid my cousin. I paid my cousin some money to which I think I shouldn't have paid her that much, but so as family. That was like a kind of mistake. I would do it again, but like I don't know. I think that kind of backfired. Then the find editor was easy. The printing company was I struggled with.
mm,
How you do? You just show how it works. You get a book, you write your own book, how you want it, whatever you want to do it. You send it to the editor. My editor. She proofreads it, she makes some changes, send it back to me, get approved, and I send it to an illustrator. Illustrator gets it. That's been the hardest part is finding a good illustrator. This last one was pretty good. The one before that one was just find a good illustrator. Once you get that back, she's good. I send it to the editor. She copyrights it, then send it to the print company. I think right now, if we're revising the book now, but I think the hardest part about a book is the illustration. Is to find a good illustrator.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't got into writing books with illustration yet, but I have a friend who went through the same thing. They were writing a children's book. I have one of your books, by the way. I should have had it posted here, but yeah,
Yeah,
big supporter, man.
man,
Um, and,
that's a
and
good.
yeah, that's what you had the bad boys posted up. But we'll drop the link to how to get a hold of them books. We'll drop it in the description of this
You know,
episode. But life as an entrepreneur and a soldier, what are some of the things that you like about it, and what's some of the things that you wish you could change outside of getting some of your damn time back?
so the military, I think I still enjoy it, man. Would I change? I think I'll change the room standard, so that's a hot topic. But I love how the army's supposed to run. I love it. Like if everything's running good according to regulation, the army's the perfect place to grow from. I like the benefits from it. I took advantage on the VA loan, the grants when it comes to tuition assistance TA. So there's a lot of stuff that I think I've used them all though. I think I have once I hear it, I'm like, oh, let me check that out. And I go mess with it. I got not really my thing. But I try to go warrant. That wasn't the thing for me. Tried that, didn't like it. I'm trying to think of all the other opportunities. It's nothing I would change though.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the grooming standard. Like, I think, just everybody know. I think once you see the army as it was created for, not bad thing I say this, it was created for like white males,
Mm.
and then everybody else started joining. Then you probably get, oh, I see why they don't like theirs, or like this is a thing, because they gotta be that more diverse now. And I think every year they just realize, like, oh, hey, we got more. We got to change this, and not just this type of race or gender. Like, I think black girls' hair, they changed that like 3 years ago. That was a big issue.
Yeah, big deal.
And they fixed that. So it just I'm just catching up to what's this population's in it. So, but they're doing it.
Yeah.
I hope.
You know what I want to do? I want to get into the business, man. I would like for you to tell your side of the story. Can I get that out of you? I just want to hear
Yeah, yeah,
your
yeah.
side of the
You talking
story.
about the shaving profile, right? The little hair, the situation I'm in.
Yeah.
So that's been a. You ever heard somebody say your reputation get there before you do?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to Hawaii, there was this. Okay, that's irrelevant. I don't know why I was going that far. Long story short, the division I was working reception company, and I worked. So the division some agents constantly sees me. So and I've been asking one day like a couple months ago, like, hey, some agent, I don't belong down here. Like the reception company for people getting out the army, retiring, they on their way out. I'm like, I'm wasted talent down here. And I guess he liked me, he heard me, I don't know what he did with that. 6 months later, whenever he gave me the job, I was out there and I'm hustling, working, motivated, like I always doing PT hours. And he made the call. He's like, I'm gonna get this guy this position down there at the company, at the Alpha company. He makes the calls in 2 days. Parker, you got the job. I went interview the brigade sergeant major. He's looking just like this. He didn't say nothing. You see what job? So yeah, went down there. The sergeant major, battalion sergeant major, talked to him, looking like this. He had no issue. I'm ripping with the outgoing first sergeant. We talk, exchange, and he said, Paul, I think you're right for this company. We're doing good, right? So I'm locked in there. I think the change possibility would be like 2 weeks later from that incident. I get on post, I get on Military or whatever on Dr. Umar's internet and posted a video that everybody's seen. They're like, hey, I made it with the hair and the beard. The next day he puts me in the office. Somebody says, and he has the counsel written up already. He said, Parker, something. So talking about you like, you point at your hair because you know your haircut is unauthorized. And I'm like, what? I said, no, I pointed at my hair because the twist is in my hair. Like, and he's like, well, your hair is not a reg. So I'm like, and he said, your beard. He said, I don't want you doing that no more with your beard. I'm looking at him like, when he say he's seen the video, I didn't thought that video was something. I thought they found some Audie Murphy video, like he wanted to talk. That's why when he said I got a video, I'm like, oh shit, which one you seen? I'm scared because I'm like, hey, Audie Murphy's gone. I ain't messing with him no more. And he put like this Bobby down. So he told me he told me I had to like do the classes, show misconduct. I'm like, okay, all right. Well, you start talking about changing the photo? I'm like, oh no,
No, thank you.
that's not gonna get away with. At that moment, I knew I was gonna get it. So that happened, right? That counseling happened. The plan of action to do classes, cut my hair, and he said, "Doing the class, the next day you got to talk to the division sergeant major. Sergeant major, I don't say his name, and he was already lined up. So I went up the next day, and I'm like, Lord, they about to give me. And I had the regulation on my hand, everything. Like, so if he came at me, I'm like, Sergeant major, I'm in reg. We went up there, Sergeant major, division sergeant major said, I don't see nothing wrong with the video party. And I said, I don't know. He said, I didn't have time to look at it yesterday, but I looked at it today. And me and current thing, we're like, what's the issue?
Yeah.
And he looked at me and he says, and hear me out, before I get in there, the battalion sergeant major's in there already talking to Sergeant Major Haney, the division sergeant major. Mm. So when he leaves, I go in there and he telling me it's cool, everything cool. I'm thinking it's over.
Yeah.
He telling me my hair, everything's in regs, the video's good. So after that day, I posted another video saying I'm cleared. Apparently I wasn't. Apparently the battalion sergeant major still got some animosity about this shit and won't let it go. And he went back and I know he had the battalion commander counsel me and told me I want to get the job. And when he did that, I'm looking at the battalion commander, I'm like, and his counsel is very short. Only he just put like, we just don't want you, basically. And I'm like, well, damn. After that, I went to talk to Sergeant Major again. I'm like, and I'm talking to him for like these 30 minutes. I'm like, Sergeant Major, I'm telling you, I think this is a mistake. Who called you and told you about? Because you didn't have a problem with my hair. Like I've been like this the whole time. What makes it all of a sudden that you have a problem with my hair and beard? Like what? And he was like, I don't think he even answered that question. But I'm like, Sergeant Major, here's the regulations. He red inking it, saying faddish. The hair looks fat. I'm like, bro, he just an outdated Sergeant Major. Mm. I'm like, bro, you can't use that word no more, Sergeant Major. And I'm like, I didn't fight it because I knew, man. I like, yeah, I ain't gonna make it here.
Yeah. After
that was it. Then it's up. Not post counseling. And we're going since then. And I'm telling you, I don't know what I don't know why I look back at him like, man, why did he? I asked him before, did he have a problem with beer? And he said no. Like, so I asked him, because I don't know, Hawaii just don't like beers, man. I don't know. I don't know what it is here. They just, oh, it's me, or it's the beer. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just, yeah, and the first sergeant there told me, he said, bro, they know you. It's your name. They would do. I think I said that in the video, but they were doing a beat after this happened. Or before, while this was happening, the first I'm ripping out with says he said he was in a meeting and they picking who's gonna be the first sergeant and platoon sergeants, and the sergeant major said who is Sergeant Parker, and then another sergeant major. When he told me this, I'm like, man, that's crazy. He said that's the guy with you to shave his beard, and my boy first time I'm like, bro, that day he said you ain't got to dive into this, bro. Because the next year, the engineer companies is merging. And I'm like, he told me straight up, man, yeah, they got you labeled out here, man. That beard thing about you, boy. So, yeah. And I'm okay with losing and being me. I'm okay with that, man. I'm really okay with, like, if they don't want me because of the beard, it doesn't bother me. They should have just said that up front, man. It's a waste of my damn time. Acting like he like it when he don't. Yeah. But it's okay, man. I think I don't want to. Okay, this is one mistake I made, and I cringe when I think about it. I was almost begging this man to be a first sergeant, and I'm like, why the fuck would I start begging somebody to, like, what? If they don't like me, they don't like me. I ain't gotta, like, so, like, I felt like that was like the lowest I felt. I'm like, bro, if you just give me a shot, if you just let me take this company, I'm telling you I'm gonna do you good. I'm telling you it's gonna be powerful. And I look back and like, I was kissing ass. Never again. Yeah. Never again. Boy, never again. I get mad thinking about that shit. But yeah, so that's the all in a nutshell, man.
Yeah. Do you think that your intentions will make you either a hero or a martyr for this change?
I think it's sparked the conversation, and I'm okay with that. Mm. Like if it change, I hope it will. I hope this hit Congress, which I know they watching my videos. I know it hit somewhere, and I know for at least a week, somebody should have been writing down on some. I think some laws. I don't know what's going on, but I think the conversation is good enough for me. What I really want is change, but if it doesn't change, I'm okay with the conversation.
What's your perspective on beards? Like, why do you think it's necessary for soldiers to have beards?
And I'm really not into like. I wish we could all have. That's just me wishing though. I wish we all had beards. It's not. It's just the stigma I don't like with the beard. So let's say if somebody hear me out, it's a simple fix. Somebody up top would just come out and says, "Hey y'all, you cannot discriminate with anybody with the beard." If they just say it, hey, you don't have to shave. Somebody just, hey, you shouldn't have to shave your beard, your profile, whatever you want to call it, to attend the board. If they just say it out loud, I think it would make change. But nobody's saying it. No one like everybody's scared to like a general someone could say those words on get it on TikTok or something and just put out a email or something and it'll fix it.
Yeah.
What people just don't, nobody's standing up, nobody's saying anything. So
yeah,
it's an easy
crazy.
fix.
I think the one thing about this that, and I've experienced it, but not to an extensive degree, just because I ain't got nothing up top, right? But I think the biggest thing about this is I have an evaluation. I've had milestones in my career. You've seen how I lead. You know who I am. How does how I look change your perspective of what I do? And I think that is the battle that you really been fighting. Do you feel like you stand on everything that you've done? Is that something that you present to people to say, "Hey, look, like you don't see this"?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me, yeah. It don't. It's funny, man. I feel like you would think somebody decorates me wouldn't have these issues. You would think if this a guy, I can't. I feel like man, I get treated like a private sometimes, like because of this. And I understand some people's perspective is how can he be a first sergeant force discipline when I don't get this concept when he has a beard and I'm or like his haircut is like that. I'm like, it's easy, man. I do it all the time. Like, there's nothing wrong. Like, and I told that somebody, I'm not the type of NCO to be up here with an unauthorized haircut and telling people to fix their blouse or like correcting people. Like, I'm not like it's in regs, man. Like, so I think my resume speaks for itself. Like, I have never, well, I have. My last 5 is outstanding. Like, let me tell you what the biggest slap in my face this unit did. When I applied for the same job, and this is gonna make you laugh. I didn't get it. They chose, hear me out. It's a Sapper company. I think I'm the most qualified to run a Sapper company, right? To make you laugh. When I applied for the same position 7 months ago, they gave it to a logistic first sergeant that is med board. Hear me out. He got the seat, and his company went to the field 2 days later. He couldn't even go to the field. They had to find another first sergeant to take the company to the field. And then when he got back, they put him back in charge. And instead of just putting me there, they put a logistic work, man. I was like, wait, I'm down bad for that.
so it was a Sapper company, and they passed on a former Sapper instructor to put a logistics instructor in charge. Man, that's mind blowing to me.
And when I ripped with him, I told him, I'm gonna say his name, but I said, hey man, you know they passed me up for you. I was mad at you for a minute. I was looking for you. But yeah, man, I said we ain't. He was a black dude. I'm like, I ain't hating on you, man. Just know that was a smack in my face, but it wasn't his fault. He laughed. We laughed about it. It was
Yeah.
not mine. But when I heard that, they gave it to who? Man, y'all kiss my ass.
Oh, oh.
That was a smack. That was the
So
first smack in my face.
let me ask you this. What is the of your entire career, what is the most powerful impact that you believe that you've made?
Oh man, I was platoon time. Okay, this TikTok it gives me more reach. So I don't know. I like to think I'm helping people on there, but like in real life, when I was platoon sergeant, my platoon, when I was the first time in my company, I think I have always made an impact on people's lives, and like they all love me, man. Like you could ask anybody from Alpha Company, first platoon when I was a platoon sergeant. I think I think people was like when I left, they were like everything went to shit when I left, and they hit me up and say, "We got this saying in the company now. It said, what will Parker do? Like, what will Sergeant Parker do?" So they'd be like, "Nah, Parker like that shit." And like they used that for a minute, but they started getting out the army.
Yeah. Yeah. When you start losing soldiers, I think that's where the biggest impact in leadership is. I felt that way too. I seen the difference in between soldiers about 5 minutes from ETSing to becoming sergeant, staff sergeant in a year and a half or 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Also seen soldiers who are on the fence about just getting out and going to college and then becoming second lieutenants. And so, like, leadership is a big deal, man. What is your best feel good story that you would like to share in leadership?
Feel good story. Like, what's something I haven't said? I think what's the best? Hmm. I think the feel good. I think when I was the first sergeant, my company commander. So he was. I remember they was choosing who's going to deploy, and he was Alpha Company Bravo Company. And I thought they would keep Alpha Company back because he had saw first class as a first sergeant. And I remember going to talk to my commander, like, "Sir, I'm sorry. I don't know if you feel some type of way that they keeping us back here. Because I think they keep us back because I'm Sergeant first class. They didn't want me going down range." And he was like, probably not the case. In the end, we still deployed. And when I tell you, me and that commander is like this,
Mm.
like we lock in like I think, I don't know, if I can say this, man. If people sit down and talk to me, they're like, "Man, Park ain't that bad." Everybody that don't like me, if they ever sit across me and just we could chat about something, they're like, "Man, Park ain't that bad." I think changing people's minds about me is like that's heartwarming for me.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you find it hard to do you not that you get along with other people, but do you find it hard for other people to get along with you?
Nope. I think well, it's just the internet makes like the negative, like, because nobody ain't never gonna check me in public. They can say that shit on the internet. I have never met somebody that was like, "Fuck, I don't like that shit." They'll never say that in public. So in a work environment at work, I'm always loved. Maybe shitbags don't like me, but like I've never had like a bad. It just maybe like leadership, maybe like my next level had issues with me. But other than that, like so I think I'm easy to get along with. In real life, I'm very easy to get along with. But it's internet shit, I just be, man, I don't know, they take that shit too serious. But
Having fun. Um, of the your current TikTok platform, what is one of the things that you want to use that tool for?
okay, so first TikTok was used for it was just me. It was just me being funny. And I guess the army making me like, I don't know. I don't know. I think now I see TikTok now it's the same way I see it as a first sergeant. I just want them to see somebody be themselves and be successful.
Ooh, that's
I,
good.
I think I think that is when I'm online in a uniform, I think I want to display, hey, Parker is still smiling. Or like you could tell his personality shining. Like you could see him, and that gives people permission. Like, I'm gonna do that at work. People getting their haircut like mine right now.
Yeah.
I went to my old job and my boy got a haircut just like this. So I like the fact that like, and they could be themselves. Like, I don't know. I think this is funny. I told somebody, I said, I'm getting away with a lot of stuff because some people can't be black at work. That makes sense.
Absolutely. No
I
question.
be black at work. Like, and not like not the like wow, but like you could see Park. Okay, I keep a hot sauce on my desk with cocoa butter. Like it's on my desk. I let it be known. Oh, he black.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, hear me out. The command I'm talking about, he's white. He's very white, and I'm comfortable being me. That he asks me questions and trying to learn about. Hey, Park, why black people? When we always had these talks about, and I'm very open. I ain't sensitive about it. I go like, hey, sir. And he started like, if he wasn't, which I'm not saying this, he's never racist, never racist. But if he was, I changed his mind about black people. Like,
Yeah.
you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I like that change. I love that change. But a lot of people can't be black at work. And I do it all the fucking time.
Oh man.
In a manner where like I don't know. I think when people say black, I think at the meeting you being black at work, it's like you're being ghetto or like loud or that being black at work, it's just your personality, man. It's just
Yeah.
you.
It's just a little bit different from everybody else. And
Yeah.
that's my thing. And just the language is different. The way we react to is different. We might talk a little bit louder than everybody else. It's not because we can't hear, it's just I need to be heard. I need to be everybody need to
So
hear this shit.
yeah, I crack jokes at work. I be laughing like slapping people. Like it's all there. But
Yeah.
then I let him be there. Like, hey man, if you just be you. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna like, hey man, like come on man, you need to put your taste on it. Like it fits you on it. So yeah. I'm telling you, like I'm black at work. I
Hey,
love it.
I definitely appreciate the conversation. Would you like to give any parting words to the viewers?
If I could talk to you, I would say, I mean, I'm just saying, be yourself at work. Sometimes you got to pay the price to be you, and you just got to pay it, man. In basic training, the smile is me, like that. That's me. They can type on my language because I feel like who you are. I feel like this. Who you are is not where you're from. Like let's say I talk weird this way, but if I was as a child, if I wasn't born in a project and I was born in a Beverly Hills around rich black people doing jazz music, I'd be a certain way that way. But there's some things that won't change. To me, the thing that would never change is my smile. So in basic training, I had to be like, is this worth it? And if I'm gonna say, yep, then I gotta pay the price for it. And you just got some time, hey man, it ain't fair. Far from fair, man. You just got some time to pay the price to be you.
That's
And
fine.
I'm always I pay in full, baby. I'm gonna be me.
Oh
Hey, tip,
man.
hey, all that. So they could take the position, man. I know who I am. I'm always be this way. And I don't be no place where they don't want me either. So if they don't, and they don't deserve this goddamn leadership. The
Ooh,
soldiers do,
yeah. Yeah.
but they don't deserve this.
That's
No.
real.
Yeah. No, so yeah, I'm good now.
That's
So
real.
and I'm still like got my integrity who I am. So people watching this just got to be yourself, but sometimes it comes with a price. That's my parting word. So yeah, that's what I said.
Hey, so where can the folks who are not following you, where can they get a hold of you and on your social platforms?
So TikTok is Black Unicorn. I think it's the only access to it. I think that's in Facebook, Instagram, but that's the main one. TikTok, Black Unicorn. I
And
think
then
you put in my name, it pops up.
where can folks find your book?
The book I have it in the bio in the TikTok shop. The one that's selling now, pushing out is the one about oh no, we're moving. It's about a family that's PCSing, and it's books about therapeutic to get to reach to your kids. Understand this process of change zone. So we try and get that to ACS and push it like global, army wide. But right now, we're working on that.
Yeah, that's dope. That's super dope. So, man, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us. I definitely want to have you back on. We can open the can a little bit, but man, I appreciate it. And then where we say is change your mind, change your money, change your life. And we want to thank you for doing that today.
I love to be here. First time I love it. Thank you.
Thank you for joining the podcast. And remember, change your mind, change your money, change your life. We out.